everybody, my name is Maddy Van Duzen. I'm a dietitian for YMCA Southcoast, and I'm here at the Dartmouth Council on Aging to do a little cooking demonstration for you. So today we're going to be making salad niçoise, which is a great summertime recipe. It originated in Nice, France, and it includes a lot of shelf-stable ingredients, as well as ingredients that have a long shelf life. So during this pandemic, if you're trying to reduce your trips to the grocery store, this is a great recipe because it includes ingredients that you might already have in your pantry, or ingredients that just are good staples to have because they last so long. So I'm gonna go through and give you a rundown of all the ingredients that we have here, all the ingredients that you're gonna need to replicate this at home. We're gonna be making a super simple vinaigrette dressing. This is a dressing that you can make in advance. You can double the ingredients for the dressing if you wanted to and use it for salads or for marinating. But we're gonna need a 3/4 cup of olive oil, or any sort of oil that's liquid at room temperature. I think olive oil is the best just because I love the flavor of it, and it has some good healthy fats in it. We're gonna be using a 1/4 cup of fresh lemon juice, or this isn't fresh, so I cheated a little bit. 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 1 teaspoon of honey, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt. So that's for our dressing. And then you're gonna need 6 eggs. So I have my eggs already cooked here. You're gonna need about 1 pound of green beans, and then some baked potatoes, or I used red potatoes and I just quartered them so that they're a little bit smaller. You can do around 4 cups of your favorite sliced raw vegetables. So this recipe calls for cucumber. I decided to add some radishes just because I like the pop of red, and it adds a little bit of a crunch and a little bit of spiciness. But you can do cherry tomatoes if you wanted to. You could do bell peppers or sweet peppers or cucumber. And then we have 3 cups of tuna. I just have my regular canned tuna here. And then some sort of briny ingredient. So that could be like, I have my Kalamata olives here because these are my favorite. It could be capers if you wanted to, or dill pickles, something that gives it a little bit of saltiness, a little bit of vinegary flavor. So this is just such a great recipe in the summer too, because you can serve it at room temperature, you can serve it chilled. So it's great for those hot summer nights sitting outside. It also makes for a really well-balanced, healthy dish that's really cheap as well. So you're getting some really good fiber and color from all the veggies that you're having. So the potatoes are giving you some good fiber, as well as the green beans and whatever raw veggies that you have. I have the radishes here. You're getting some good healthy fats from your olives, as well as from your oil that you're using in your dressing. And you're getting some good protein too from your eggs, and some good lean protein from the tuna as well. So we're gonna get started here, and I'm gonna bring you through making this dressing. Again, this is something that you can make ahead of time at home and just store if you wanted to in a jar like this, and use it for other things. So I have my 3/4 cup of olive oil that I'm gonna add to my bowl here. And I cheated a little bit, I already measured it out. And then my 1/4 cup of lemon juice. Okay, this is the basics of just any vinaigrette. You have your oil, and then you have your acidic component to it. So you could do it with lime, you could make a vinaigrette with orange juice if you wanted to. And then we have the Dijon mustard. So this is 2 tablespoons of your Dijon mustard. Don't have to be exact here. Okay. And then your 1 teaspoon of honey. This just cuts the acidity a little bit, adds some sweetness. And then 1 teaspoon of black pepper and 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm just gonna use my spoon here just because my teaspoon is a little sticky, so I'm just gonna estimate here with my salt. I like to always do a little bit less salt and then add some more as I go if it needs more salt, because you can always add more salt, you can't take it out. My black pepper, about a teaspoon of that. And there's our dressing. I'm gonna whisk this up and then we're gonna put it to the side. And this vinaigrette will last for a while too. So sometimes I don't use the whole recipe for when I'm dressing the ingredients, so I put the rest aside, and like I said, you can use it for so many other things. So you have kind of a nice creamy consistency here. It smells really amazing. Okay, I'm gonna put this to the side and move on to my other ingredients. So I have my boiled eggs here. So I cooked these ingredients ahead of time, but basically for your eggs, you bring a medium pot of salted water to boil, and then once the water is boiling, you throw your eggs in for about 7 minutes. You take them out with a slotted spoon and then just let them chill in some ice water for about 5 minutes, and then peel them once they're all chilled. And then I have my green beans here. I have my green beans and potatoes together, but my green beans, I did the same thing. I brought some water to a boil, threw my green beans in there for about 2 to 4 minutes. So just kind of blanch them, take them out, let them cool. And then with my potatoes, same thing, boiled them for about 10 to 15 minutes. Or I cut them up first, boiled them for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then they're good to go. So I'm gonna take my radishes here and start off by cutting up my raw veggies. And with the measurements here, it's really subjective. However, you know, if you want more potato, less veggies, that's perfectly fine too. I just think radishes are so beautiful. They look really good on a platter. Such a great summer vegetable too. I love these in a salad as well. They add a little bit of spiciness, a little bit of crunch. They're great with hummus too. And this is something, you know, cutting up the veggies can be something that you're doing while the other ingredients are boiling. All right, I'm gonna cut up a couple more of these, and then we're gonna start, and then I'm gonna cut my olives, make sure that they have no pits in them, and we're gonna arrange them so it looks really beautiful on this gorgeous white platter that we have here. Okay. Olives, so I'm gonna start, so the arranging part is fun too. You can mix all the pieces, all the components together and kind of toss it, or you can kind of arrange it with like sort of in sections. So I'm gonna do that just because I think it's gonna look the prettiest here. So I have my raw veggies here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna cut my eggs and put those strategically on the plate here so it looks nice. And I love cooking my eggs for just 7 minutes in the boiling water, just because it makes them kind of soft boiled. I love a good soft boiled egg. If you don't love it this yolky, keep it in for, you know, maybe 9 minutes. eggs there, our wonderful source of protein. And I'm trying to think of how I want to strategically place it so it looks nice. Don't want to put all right, here's our olives here. Now they're not pitted, but I am gonna chop them up a little bit. Again, you can use any other briny ingredient that you like. You know, artichoke hearts would be really good with this, or hearts of palm, or capers, any sort of like pickled ingredients that you like. Okay. All right. There we go. I'm gonna put these next to my radishes here. Kind of layer them. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, the tuna. This doesn't have to be any fancy tuna. You can do a canned salmon if you wanted to, or you can do your tuna in water or in olive oil, whichever one. Great source of protein, good lean protein. Go. There's our tuna there. So I just used 1 big can of tuna. I think that's good enough. The recipe calls for 3 cups, but again, you can kind of play it by ear in terms of how it looks to you, you know, how many people you're serving. We've got our potatoes here. I like the red skinned potatoes just because, again, they add a little bit more color. It's a little bit more visually appealing. Okay. And then lastly, we have our beautiful blanched green beans. You can do asparagus too if you wanted to, but I like the green beans. All right. Lastly, we're going to top it with our dressing here. A little goes a long way. And there you have it. There is your salad niçoise, a wonderful summer dish. Can be served right at room temperature and is a great balanced dish with all the proteins, the fiber, wonderful vitamins and minerals, healthy fats. This is going to keep you nice and full for a long time, and it's a great, beautiful dish to eat.